Okay, so now we're gonna stay in the NFL. We got Odell Beckham Jr. Finally done with his time with Cleveland. They let him go. He didn't clear waivers. He didn't came out with his top three, something similar to what top recruits do in college football. His top three is the New Orleans Saints, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Green Bay Packers. So with that said, where do you see him most likely landing and why?
I don't know. I gotta say it up front, like it just feels a little strange that like this ain't if this is the OBJ fresh off the catch way back here and all that, then maybe I can get down with it a little bit. But this isn't the LeBron James decision ABC special that they went out there and aired out, but like it's almost well, are we supposed to care that you put out hey the leak to the media, I got these three teams that I narrowed it down to. Did those three teams narrow it down to you two? Did they say, hey, yeah, we got interest in OBJ, let's get him in here? I don't know, Drink. I'll get to the question in a moment. But the idea that this level, I should have this level of interest in a guy who really hasn't done much since he was with the Giants. I mean, you can go if you go back to the 2+ years that he was in Cleveland. 2019 he plays a full season. Has over just over 1,000 yards. But that was the Freddie Kitchens season, if I'm not mistaken. So we know that was a circus. They did not make the playoffs.
Right.
Then 2020, they do make the playoffs. He didn't play half the season. He tore his knee up. So it didn't seem like that affected them negatively all that much. They still was moving along.
Right.
And then this season, there just ain't a whole lot there. And then if you go back to his time with the Giants, what did you have? The boat thing or whatever before the playoff game?
And that was his only playoff appearance.
Right. So
okay.
I just have a hard time, beyond the fact that it is newsworthy, but like generally caring about where OBJ goes because I don't think it's as big a deal as we're making it to be. But if I had to pick a spot, I think we've been on this. We've been talking about this offline for quite a while. I think Green Bay makes a lot of sense.
Right.
I think what OBJ needs and would just be the best thing because I think you got to have a strong organization. I think you also need to have a quarterback with cachet and a resume that can kind of put his foot down and just be like, hey, you go over there, run your routes, run a slant, and I'll get you the ball when I get you the ball.
Right.
You also, I think that's the biggest thing. If you look back with his time with Eli Manning was kind of out here flopping around on the downside of his career, and then we know like the Browns were just set up differently. That's a power running team with Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, that big offensive line. So Baker Mayfield, he got to come out here and just manage the game and not make mistakes. And for whatever reason, it didn't seem like they really got on the same page.
Oh, and see, here's my thing. Him going to Cleveland was outrageous. Like people were like, oh man, that Super Bowl bound. Why? Why? That's like Seattle drafting another linebacker. What? Like. You went to a team that had it figured out, in my opinion, at wide receiver. Jarvis Landry was the number one. Then you had Antonio Callaway. You had Rashad Higgins. And then you had Njoku at tight end. I really think that team had it figured out because, like you said, now it was circus because of Freddie Kitchens. However, if you could have kept that same team without Odell Beckham and then Kevin Stefanski would have been the coach instead of Freddie Kitchens, I think they would have been more successful. Clearly, he had a pitcher in mind.
Yeah.
And he's able to establish that now, but that's after you didn't like Odell Beckham that hurt his knee. And now all the cameras over there. Then Jarvis Landry in and out of the lineup. I think Cleveland would have been a lot better if Jarvis Landry was the downright number one receiver. Because he was a little more selfless, right? You got selfish and then you got selfless. Like in the words of Marcellus Wiley, the thing they got in common with both of them is the word self. So, you with the way Jarvis Landry was, I think that would have worked. Then you bring in Odell Beckham. It's almost my same argument I had with Cam Newton. You can't bring in Cam Newton to your team and don't think the camera's coming with it. It's former MVP, very polarizing guy. You can't bring him in and think we forgot about him. The minute we hear his name, hey Cam, no. Same thing with Odell Beckham. To your point, this is why I think Green Bay works. First of all, I'm going to tell you this right now. Kansas City being in this top 3 is like some 3-star recruit, some 3-star like linebacker out here with Alabama in his final.
They just have to get everybody. It feels like, don't you?
Anybody at least be in the conversation for everybody. That's why I equated to like a 3-star with Alabama. Hey, I'm just gonna have them in the final just because it's gonna look good and people gonna talk about it. No, damn well Alabama ain't calling him.
Just put him in there to make it look like I'm in contact with him.
Ain't nobody faxed you a offer or nothing, but I'm gonna talk this crap because I'm gonna get to say, hey, Alabama final 3, right? This is what I think about Kansas City. A lot of teams say Kansas City, because it's the right thing to do, I guess. Just say, hey, I'm going to Kansas City. I'm gonna make Kansas City better. I'm gonna be the guy that get Patrick Mahomes back on track, right? That's what it seems like. I don't think Kansas City is a viable contender. I'm looking at the New Orleans Saints and Green Bay Packers. Now, to your point about Green Bay, I'm going to leave the Saints alone. I'm going to let you speak your piece on the Saints. But Green Bay, the reason I truly feel that Green Bay is a good fit for Odell Beckham, similar to what you said. What I like about Green Bay is this. At this juncture of Odell Beckham's career, you're not coming in here talking that I'm the number 1 receiver crowd. In Green Bay, we know who the number 1 receiver. It ain't no maybe, it ain't no I think. Well, if you put both of them in the prime, no. We know who the number 1 receiver is. You are clearly the number 2 receiver. Oh, by the way, it's a quarterback that's going to remind you the clearly number 2 receiver. Now, maybe with that young coach, he might have some things to say to the coach, but Aaron Rodgers probably step in and clear that up. Like, hey,
I hope so.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, I'm not trusting Matt LaFleur to have that.
Yeah, Matt
I would trust Sean Payton in the Orleans.
So, I think, Aaron Rodgers come in, listen, this your role here. We have to remember this. Odell Beckham got cut by Cleveland.
So hopefully that you come in. If you come in with the right mindset, and I think one of the first questions should be, you do know we have Devontae Adams right now. That guy's pretty good. So you're gonna be the number 2 out here, and I think that could. If he comes in with the right mindset and it is Green Bay, I think it could work very well. Because we've been talking about Green Bay for the past couple of seasons.
They've been needing a second receiver for the long.
Valdez, Scantling, and Lazard, and I don't even know, Jeff Junis. Just a bunch of the names are just hilarious.
It's like
they brought Randall Cobb back, but he's not a 2. He's probably a 3 at best.
He's just a slot receiver.
If you get OBJ in there and he's healthy and motivated, a little bit of a humble mindset, I think it could work well. And I mean that's something like. Just like we think with Von Miller in Los Angeles for the Rams, this is one that if you get OBJ at his best, it's something that could vault the Packers into that even they're already up there, but it could make them give them an edge on the rest of these contenders.
Like I said, I didn't understand what people were so hyped about with Cleveland. If he got with Green Bay, that's the team I would say okay. He might take him to the next level now. Because now Aaron Rodgers can scan the whole field now. He ain't worried about, hey, where you at, Devontae? Hey, where you at? We wide open over here, Aaron. Where you at? Like, now he can scan the whole field. And then, we know what the running game is. So I agree with you. I definitely think he could take it to the next level. And listen, one thing wide receivers really pay attention to, especially wide receiver like Odell Beckham, the quarterback matters. It matters. You cannot roll out here with Nathan Peterman and think a top-notch wide receiver is going to be happy about that. Green Bay answers, to me, all the questions you could ask Odell Beckham at this point. Do you want to win?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest point. If Odell's got the right mindset and he wants to win, I think Green Bay is the spot. If not, and you just about numbers and just about you.
He said contender, but then.
But there's levels to that. To me, like the Chiefs, I mean, they don't look serious right now. Like they barely out here treading water. Like you beat the Jordan Love Packers 13-7. And I don't think Odell Beckham can fix that. They gotta figure out what they got with they got problems with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce don't seem to be on the same page with Patrick Mahomes. You already got a new guy, Josh Gordon, you're trying to integrate. So I don't think another new guy with all these dudes that are already, you got so many mouths to feed already. I don't think it works. To me, the Raiders would be that's a location that we talk about that seems to make more sense than the Chiefs. But like I said about the Saints, if Odell, if he's not as serious about winning, and it's more about just reestablish himself as a big time wide receiver, he just want to put up numbers, then I think New Orleans makes sense to me. You know, but I don't think New Orleans is as big a contender, and you especially not with Trevor Siemian.
And I'm sorry, man. Love Sean Payton. If Jameis Winston was still happy, if he was healthy, then I'd be like, yeah. I honestly, I think Odell Beckham is exactly what they need with Mike Thomas.
And he would be the one.
He would be the number one. No doubt about it. Michael Thomas out of the picture. He would no doubt about it be the number one. But I heard this argument earlier. With, you know, and I mentioned this to you earlier. Well, if you go to New Orleans, that's all Trevor Siemian really got. So he's gonna feed him, and he's gonna ride that coattail until like he can't no other, because this is the way to revive his career. Yes.
So he's just the same player that he was in New York.
But
because I don't think Odell. You put Odell on the Saints, I don't think that necessarily takes them up another notch. You know what I'm saying?
Right. What best case scenario if he went to the Saints? Best case scenario, make the playoffs. You out of here in round one. That's best case scenario.
I think so. And that goes to the point of, and not necessarily that would be OBJ's fault, but like it's the quarterback position. The quarterback position is going to move the needle,
right? Not
OBJ, and we've seen it. Like this is one reason why OBJ ain't won nothing yet. It's not all on him. He might get a lot of the blame because of his talent and he's the face,
right?
But that's not necessarily a good thing for wide receivers. But
so that's how I equated it. This is why I just like even with Kansas City, I'm like best case scenario with Kansas City, because right now you can put whoever you want on the offense. Then you need some people on defense. Like
that seems like it'd be just a mess.
That's what you need. You need an Odell Beckham for defense. You don't need an Odell Beckham for offense over there.
I don't think that'd be good for Andy Reid's health. I don't think Andy Reid. Really? You want Tyreek Hill, Josh Gordon, and OBJ and Travis Kelce?
Yeah, I think Josh Gordon probably out of here. Like I don't think Josh Gordon.
I think he'd have to be if you bring in OBJ. But yeah, I think it is Green Bay. I think we agree on it. Also, if OBJ went to Green Bay, I'd like to see Green Bay win it all and let Aaron Rodgers and his unvaccinated behind stick it straight to the media. That's what I'd like to see.